excited to share with you the information on our new program, which is based on developing nutrition programs based on performance-based labs, and I want to really share some light on that so you can make the best decision for yourself on getting the best results.
Yeah, absolutely.
From a nutrition standpoint. So let's just start off by asking you, really, what type of nutrition guy are you? Are you a low-carb guy? Are you a low-fat guy? Are you a paleo guy? Because everybody's like, it's all about these different type of programs and which program they should do. What program should people follow? And
For sure. And I love this question. And this is a question that I get a lot. So when people hire me, they're like, okay, so what kind of diets do you make? And my answer is kind of like, well, I make diets. You know, like when it comes to this kind of thing, is that I say I make diets because it should just be for the individual. I'm not the guy, and I feel like if you hear anything about the guy, that you should get your shoes and run the other way. Because when it comes to any community or city, there's usually a charismatic guy within that community or city that is the paleo guy, or the low carb guy, or the Atkins guy, or the Mediterranean guy, or whatever it's gonna be. But the first sign to me that somebody doesn't understand nutrition and human metabolism is that they try to make all squares fit into a circle. It just doesn't work like that. If there was one answer for everybody, then everybody would be lean. And that's just not how it works. The diet is always made on the client. So asking me what kind of guy I make diets based on the client, so I guess I'm a client guy.
You're a client guy, and that's the way it needs to be. So tell me, how can nutrition improve someone's life?
How can nutrition improve someone's life? You know, how can it, right? When it comes to nutrition plays a huge impact, and in most cases regulates things such as your mood, how stress affects your body, your day-to-day energy, your hormone balances and corrections that need to be happening, your bone density, your body fat levels, your muscle levels, your immune system, how often you get sick, you know, the list goes on and on and on. That nutrition plays a huge, huge role in.
Yes, and it's very important that you have the right information to get the results.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you don't have the right information, then you don't have a logical progression to follow in order to get you to where you want to be.
So speaking of right information, what does lab work offer in comparison to another nutrition specialist who doesn't order labs when building and preparing nutrition programs for their clients?
Well, lab work really offers answers as simply as it can be answered, because lab work provides a blueprint on you. Your actual physiology and what's going on internally with you makes a difference as to what type of protein, carbohydrate, and fat intake you should be having, what supplements you should be having, and the doses of those supplements in order to get you, you know, the quickest way to get somewhere is in a straight line. When we have lab work, it's not a theory, it's not a guess, it's not a book, it's not a fad diet, it's you.
Great, great. So I think a lot of people may be asking, okay, you talk about labs. I just got labs from my doctor.
Yeah.
Okay, I just, you know, I've got that information. They tell me, you know, where my cholesterol is, where my thyroid is, all those different levels that you get from just normal lab work. So what lab tests, what does make the type of labs that we order, what makes that different than those type of labs? And what makes it world class?
Yeah, so these labs, the type of labs we order is really performance-based, but then also prevention-based as well. Because when you're going to the doctor, those are tremendous labs to get. I mean, those are standardized for a reason. You can pull a tremendous amount of data from them, but that data isn't put into a nutrition plan for you. You're either told you have high cholesterol or not. If you have high, here's medication. You have high blood pressure or not. If you have high, here's medication. It's not put forth into a structured plan that's unique to your physiology. So I'm looking at things like your inflammation status, your vitamin and mineral status, what your hormone balance is like, what food sensitivities you have, and what's your gut bacteria saying. All of these things, because these play in not just to see if you're sick or not, but if you feel great or not. Because one thing with labs, when you go get a standard lab, there's a normal test. But there's always a difference between normal and optimal. There are optimal ranges that you should be in for each parameter in order for you to get results at a faster pace and just feel better. Like, who wants to be normal, especially considered common Western society, right? You want to be healthy. There's a big difference in that sense.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that you point out is you do get those labs, but it's always about seeking sickness,
Yeah.
not really identifying how to improve performance and health.
Right.
So we're reacting rather than being proactive.
Exactly.
And what we want to do is be proactive,
Yeah.
and with the right labs, you can develop a plan that is proactive.
Yeah, couldn't have put it better.
Yeah. So really what we're saying is that these lab tests can affect mental health, physical health, and really just your appearance.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. When it comes to mental health, we're looking at things like your fatty acid balance. You're getting enough omega-3 in. What's that looking like? When it comes to mental health too, like what's your B vitamin status looking like? Because we need B vitamins in order to make serotonin, which is the feel-good neurotransmitter that brings happiness, but also allows you to fall asleep. So there's a lot in that department. Those are just a couple of examples. When it comes to looking better, it depends what looking better means to you, because your vitamin A and your zinc status is going to be really targeting towards things like your skin and hair health. And your fatty acid, that also is for skin health as well. But then within the same vein, when it comes to how you're looking, we need to make sure that your metabolism is operating optimally, because zinc in one study is showing a repletion of zinc status alone increased metabolism 527 calories. And in another study, iron alone, independent of diet and exercise, was able to increase strength if you had a suboptimal. So just one mineral increased strength. So if you're after fat loss, if you're after muscle building, whatever it's going to be, this is going to affect all those things. So mental and physical health, that's completely covered within this.
Great. And what are you looking for? Let's say when somebody comes and starts to work with you and with us, on this program, what are you reviewing from a lifestyle questionnaire? And how does that accompany lab work?
I'm looking for what's gonna make it work for them within the lifestyle. So things that's of the utmost importance, that's as important as anything else in this world, is finding a plan that's gonna work for you. Because when I know your schedule, when I know your lifestyle, when I know these things, the best plan that you can possibly follow is the one that you can follow. Like, you could have the most scientific plan in the entire world, but if you can't follow it, what good is it for you? So I'm looking for those things in the lifestyle to make sure it's just gonna match up with their schedule, and I'm looking in the lab work for what's gonna match up with their physiology. That's really the marriage of where the best results come into play, is lifestyle and physiology. So when in the lab work, I'm looking at things like their inflammation status, their vitamin and mineral status, their immune function, their hormone balance, their gut bacteria, what food sensitivities they have, because food isn't always nourishing. If you have a sensitivity to something, say chicken breast and broccoli, well, when you start eating clean, these foods can be pro-inflammatory for you. Very often I see eggs being very pro-inflammatory for people, and they'll have them every morning and don't know why their joints hurt every day.
Yes.
So these are just a few examples of what I'm looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's giving you a little bit of clarity on what we're trying to accomplish here. We're not guessing anymore.
No.
We've got the raw data to not only make the right decisions,
Yep.
but now we understand how to go build a program specifically made for you based on your lifestyle and your stresses and the things that you're dealing with. Because again, it can be the most beautiful program built, but if it doesn't fit within your lifestyle, it's not going to work.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just simply not going to work. And I mean, I'm a coach who works with a lot of people and a lot of world-class people, so I'm protecting my reputation as much as you want to get results. How do we do that? We don't guess.
We don't guess, and that's the key. We're not guessing anymore, and we can finally build a plan made specifically for you, which I've done it, and it is life-changing. And I guess that's really the topic of this whole video. We're not guessing no more.
Yeah, I mean, it's preventative, and it also helps you get to where you want to be.
So I'm looking forward to you guys learning more about this program. Of course, if you're interested, you can request a consultation to find out more, and we'll get you set up and figure out what's going on in your physiology and build the program that's 100% made for you.
Hope to see you soon.
Thank you.